Most people say time is like a river, flowing swift and sure in one direction. I have seen the face of time, and I can tell you, they are wrong. Time is an ocean in a storm. You may wonder who I am and why I say these things. Come, and I will show you a review like none you have ever heard. Know first that I am the Fiery Joker, a mighty YouTube gamer. On my way through life, I was forced to watch My Little Pony and review it by a small company of men. Painfully, the promise of AdSense and subs tempted me into a grievous error. This episode sucked! The Cutie remarking, everybody. So, this opens up with Twilight rehearsing a speech for an academic lecture.
I'd like to be able to get through the whole speech without looking at the cards.
Twi, you're missing the point of cue cards. You're not supposed to have the whole speech on the cards. You use the cue cards to cue the parts of the speech you don't remember immediately. It's in the friggin' name!
Oh, I'm not nervous, Spike, but I do have to set a good example.
The pressures of fame when you actually give a crap about your fans' moral and mental well-being.
Let's go through it one more time. When Princess Celestia asked me to speak to you today, I was honored to have the opportunity to talk about my...
Does this qualify as abuse, or torture, or both?
My little pony, my little pony.
Here we go. Fast, Josh! You gotta come back with me! Where? Back to the future! Why? Did something happen? Also, you look familiar. What? Oh, that doesn't matter. Let's just go! Whatever. Wait, I think Nostalgia Critic did this. Shut up! Okay, so... why did we need to come to the future? What? Oh, to skip the intro? What? Yeah, you always skip the intro. Wouldn't it make sense to skip it like this? Okay, that was a little bit excessive for skipping the intro, even for me. And isn't meeting my future self like this gonna create some sort of universe-ending paradox? Wibbly wobbly timey-wimey. That's not even the same franchise. That doesn't matter. Now, I'm off to stop the invasion of the mutant Belgian waffles. Apparently, they have a weakness to blue wigs and black beanies. What? That doesn't make any sense! We only fast forwarded 30 seconds! Wibbly wobbly timey-wimey. Also butterfly effect. That doesn't excuse bad writing! And at this point, the skipping of the intro is longer than the actual intro! So it's the next day and it's death by PowerPoint.
I can speak from my own experience that the power of cutie mark magic is very real, and
I used to take lunch money from guys like this.
in the instance of my friends and I, it can be traced to a single event. Without this rain boom, I might not have gotten into magic school. Celestia wouldn't have taken me on as her pupil, or sent me to Ponyville to meet my friends.
Boom. Butterfly effect.
So Twilight thinks she sees Amon Pony in the audience, and then we get something that's become more and more prevalent in this series. The awkward recap.
Forcing every pony in her village to have the same cutie mark wasn't right. We had to do something.
And now she's coming back for revenge.
Ugh, that dialogue. That was Dragon Ball Z levels of unnatural. No, wait, I take it back. Dragon Ball Z would have done it better.
Last time on MLP, Friendship is Magic, Twilight and company defeated the evil unicorn Starlight Glimmer, who wanted to remove cutie marks, but she escapes and Twilight doesn't know where or when she will enact her revenge. However, the fandom, ever vigilant, noticed all these times that Starlight Glimmer was in the background, spying like your creepy neighbor. Seriously, Frank, don't make me call the cops again. Will she return and bring doom to Equestria? Find out on the next exciting episode of MLP.
See? So much better. So Twilight enters her castle, and sure enough, Starlight's there, waiting for her.
Welcome home, Twilight.
You know, Twilight could have gone out for a snack or hung out with her friends for the day. I wonder how long Starlight was waiting there.
Any second now. Any second now. These crystal chairs are not very comfortable. I hope I can remember my evil monologue. Now that I think about it, I probably should have made some cue cards.
Then Starlight apparently uses the table for a magic spell.
Can I say that curse word now?
Yes, low-hanging fruit. Everyone's probably already done this, but I don't care. It's still funny and it's awesome music. So it appears that Starlight went back in time and took Twilight with her. Hang on, this makes no sense. If Starlight went back in time, why didn't Twilight immediately change? And if Starlight changed time, wouldn't that mean she made it so she never had to go back in time, thus creating a paradox? On the other hand, maybe I'm thinking about this too hard. I mean, every story involving time travel has to bend the rules of cause and effect in order to move the plot forward. Even in Back to the Future, which everyone loves, the laws of time required an enormous suspension of disbelief. If it followed strict time principles, Marty would likely have caused a universe-ending paradox right about there. So yeah, Starlight and Twilight not changing and still having memories of the timeline beforehand. Wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey. Or as I like to say, convenient!
Cloudsdale? Starlight doesn't even have wings. Why would she come here?
I don't know, Spike, but it looked like she could fly with just magic.
Unicorn's Master Race! Sorry, I got something in my throat.
Hey! What gives?
So, Starlight changes the past and appears to have changed the past so dramatically that Somber has returned and is now at war with Equestria. She goes to find her friends who likely have also changed and don't know a thing about her.
I'm not sure anything we know is the same. But I know one place that could never change.
Sit down, Murphy!
I know this is hard to believe, but you and I and those other ponies I mentioned are friends.
Sorry, Twi, but in this universe...
You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you.
Did you bump your head on a crate of cider or something?
Okay, really, Applejack? The fact that she's an alicorn didn't raise any eyebrows? Are alicorns special or not? Dude, she should be like, holy tarnation, an alicorn! There's a lot of damn critters in the world! Can I touch your wings? Wow, that got weird.
And it didn't take long for him to force every one of his subjects to fight for him against Equestria.
Oh my gosh, this is Doctor Who.
We have been upgraded. Every citizen will receive a free upgrade.
Okay, while I do like a fight scene as much as the next guy, we don't get to see much. They just kind of slap each other over a featureless gray background, which is kind of underwhelming considering the last time we got...
Show me what you're made of!
But the thing that bugs me the most about this is the whole premise. How could Sombra fight Celestia for that long when he was defeated so easily before?
Do you want to do a collab? Come on, let's talk and ride. I never see you anymore. Come out the door. It's like you've gone away.
How do these weirdos keep finding me?
Seriously? That's your ringtone?
It's called irony. And no, we are not collabing.
And why not?
Because I made sure there'd be no collabs this time. I have built-in defenses for the Force, hacking, lasers, magic, mobs, and remote slapstick generators. And you're not Canadian. You have nothing to coerce me with. That's cheating. Fine. What do you want to say?
I am here to explain each new alternate world and how they make perfect sense.
How can these possibly make sense?
Easy. The butterfly effect.
Oh, this is going to turn into an episode of Game Theory, isn't it?
Yes, but without the self-aggrandizing tone.
Hey, some people find that charming.
Anyways, the butterfly effect states that a butterfly flapping its wings could cause a devastating hurricane weeks from now, meaning the tiniest actions could carry significant long-term consequences. This means that anything that used to be set in stone is now anything goes. It's kind of cheating, but it's still valid.
Example?
Example? Okay, this Sombra universe. It's easy to assume that because of the butterfly effects, Celestia apparently had to rebanish or defeat Luna due to not having any element bearers.
How? Can she even do that?
Apparently, because Celestia would not have gotten this far otherwise. Remember, Celestia let herself be defeated in episode 1 so her sister could be redeemed using Twilight and her friends. This didn't happen, obviously, so Celestia had to banish her again or defeat her. However, because of that, and the fact that she had no element bearers, she wasn't able to defeat Sombra this time, nor find the Crystal Heart.
But what about the other villains? Twilight and her friends were crucial for them to be defeated.
Not necessarily. Remember, butterfly effect. We can easily assume that because events changed with the CMC's sisters, the CMCs also had their lives changed. Like, maybe the CMC never went into the garden and accidentally freed Discord. Also, because Twilight failed her exam, Shining Armor and Cadence likely never met, preventing the royal wedding. So Celestia had nothing to chalk up to wedding jitters and likely caught wind of the Changeling plot before it surfaced.
Holy crap.
Oh, I'm just getting started. As for the other villains, Tyrek was never able to drain any magic from the populace because everyone was so on guard because of the war. This is implausible, but not impossible.
Wow, that's actually pretty good. Guess I call you the Queen of Headcanons for a reason.
Flattery? Oh, Josh, if you wanted to date me, you needed only to ask.
Okay, moving on! So Starlight immobilizes Twilight as soon as she gets out, then takes the time to explain how the magic works, because you should always explain your evil plans, duh! Then tries to kill her.
Sub-Zero wins fatality.
Why didn't she do that earlier? I could have made a Syndrome monologue reference. So then, in actually one of the episode's cooler moments, Starlight manipulates friendship against Twilight by stopping the bullies from picking on Fluttershy, therefore stopping the Rainbow. Yes, the one moment in the show called Friendship is Magic where they have to discourage friendship. Lady, you are voiced by Barbie! How are you being this sinister?
Isn't it a shame we don't live in a world where every pony is equal? No one would ever tease anyone there. Wouldn't that be nice? Mm-hmm.
Ugh! Starlight's philosophy just ticks me off! Thing is, equality sounds nice, but newsflash, no one should be equal, otherwise no one has value. We're all equal in the sense that we are unequal, and it should stay that way. Starlight Glimmer's vision of equality is losing identity. To become equal in that manner would be to become replaceable. You might as well not exist!
Just give it a rest. You're nobodies. You don't even exist.
So Twilight tries to start the Rainbow again, and isn't succeeding.
Okay, so, hey, you want a race? That wouldn't really be fair.
Really, Twilight? Do you not know Rainbow Dash well enough to know how to turn that one around?
Okay, listen, you don't have to race me. I just need you to fly fast enough for a sonic rainbow. What? I can't do that. No pony can.
What's the matter? Chicken?
And even then, the way you're coming on to her during these makes it look like you're... well...
I need an adult.
I am an adult.
But it's not. I know it's not. I've seen you do it in the future.
Really, Twilight? How do you expect a younger version of this to react to telling them that the future depends on them? Are you really this clueless?
Hello? Hello? Anybody home?
How many Back to the Future references am I gonna make in this thing? Enough. So Twilight is forced backwards again, this time landing in the Chrysalis verse. Oh wait, then we stop dramatically on a cliffhanger. That gets resolved after 5 minutes of commercials.
Last time on MLP, Twilight delivers a death by PowerPoint presentation that's crashed by Stalin Glimmer. She uses a MacGuffin scroll that allows her to travel back in time to prevent Twilight and her friends from ever meeting, and apparently never read the news to realize why this is a pretty dumbass move. This causes Twilight to land in several dystopian universes that are only interesting in hindsight and if you think about them way too hard. Can Twilight defeat these alternate universes and stop Stalin Glimmer? Find out on the next exciting episode of MLP.
Yeah, you get it. So, wait. How did changing the act from forcefully stopping the rainbow to friendshipping make Chrysalis win?
The butterfly effect, remember?
I find it hard to believe that something that small causes. There is no way that these events had consequences that far-reaching.
Maybe, maybe not. No real way to know. However, there is one detail. Starlight Glimmer is still in the past. It's probably easy to assume that her actions from this point cause the butterfly effects necessary to make these events unfold the way they do. And each time, because of the way she handled the situation, she tries something different down the line, resulting in a different universe. There isn't anything concrete that proves it can't happen.
I'm not gonna win any argument against you, am I?
Nope.
Stop it!
If Starlight keeps doing the same thing in the past, how could the present be so different?
Time is a river.
No, it's not! It's an ocean in a storm!
Actually, I think it's more of a flat circle.
No, it's actually a big ball of tiny, whiny stuff.
No, it's not! That's a stupid explanation!
Who is that?
A nuisance. Then Chrysalis reveals herself after trying to pretend to be Twilight's friends and then invades the outpost.
You're vastly outnumbered.
Wait a minute, why does she bother trying to fool them if she had a friggin' army right next to her?
She's a manipulator. She probably wanted to take them over the fun way.
Why must you keep finding holes in my logic?
Come quietly to the dungeons of Canterlot, and I promise to leave the others alone.
Why would she ever trust you? Even if there's a chance Chrysalis will honor her word, shouldn't you try?
Really, Twilight? You cannot be this naive! This is Chrysalis, Queen of the Changelings, Queen of creatures bent on manipulation and deception! You expect her to honor her word? Did someone just hit Twilight with the clueless stick this episode?
Well, that's how Chrysalis got free in the comics.
Not canon! Huh. I actually won an argument.
Way to go, Josh!
You did it, Josh!
1 out of 97 ain't bad, Josh. The important thing is you tried.
Anyway, so Twilight tries to go back and stop Starlight again. Then begins one of my personal favorite tropes, the Beam War. Now, while it is a little annoying that we're just getting a bunch of still frames, it's at least mercifully short. Then Twilight seems to get dropped in bad CGI Wolfverse, the Nightmare Moonverse. Hold on a second, if everything's eternal night, how is everything not frozen?
Magic.
Oh, dang. Huge Maleficent vibe here. All we need is an ominous pipe organ.
Rarity! It's me! I don't socialize with dragons. I don't know any pony who would. That's racist!
So then, Nightmare Moon is revealed and... she's apparently laughing at one of her own jokes? Nightmare Moon threatens Twilight to tell her the secret of time magic so she can go back in time and make the sun never— oh, shoot! Big stakes right there! So Twilight decides to show Nightmare Moon the secret, obviously trying to use her and— okay, there is no way Nightmare Moon is buying this. Ah, there we go. So they get back and Twilight somehow tricks Nightmare Moon and goes back to the past. We get more and more Beam Wars and keep getting transported to different universes, including one where Discord reigns, one where Tyrek is flattening everything, and one where How did they beat Celestia? This makes her look pretty bad if she can't even stand up to the capitalism ponies.
Hey, this actually makes Celestia look good.
Are you high?
On life. Let me explain. Technically, it never said they defeated Celestia. They're likely just doing their business. What this does tell us is that Celestia was able to fend off each villain that threatened Equestria, because the Flim Flam brothers were allowed to run their businesses unhindered by any of the villains. And Celestia doesn't stop them because these two are slippery and know how to work within the rules to not get caught, like the Mafia. That, or she died protecting Equestria from Tyrek, and the nobles are the ones that can't stop them.
Stop making me not hate this episode! Twilight manages to drag Starlight
back to the future!
Whoa! Okay, Ink, what happened here? Ink Rose?
Every villain was released, and everything in Equestria is dead.
It's not even a little bit funny, man. So then Starlight goes back to the past. And yes, we get to see Starlight Glimmer's backstory. So, what terrible event caused her to believe that stripping a person of their individuality and identity was the only way to achieve true harmony and friendship? A friend got their cutie mark and had to move away. That's it? Really? That's her excuse for starting her pseudo-Marxist cult? Good gravy, Sunset Shimmer had a better motive, Trixie had a better motive, Moondancer had a better motive, and she's not even a villain! And you know what? This backstory is actually exactly the same as another character's. Who is it, you may ask? Apple Bloom! Yeah, these are exactly the same. They both had no cutie marks, they both also had a friend with no cutie marks, and they both lost the ability to hang out with said friend because of their cutie marks. Only Apple Bloom actually handled it maturely and sought out new friends. Look, I get it. People like to see characters redeemed, but only when they feel sympathetic to them. I don't feel sympathetic to Starlight at all because her motivation is so weak and makes her look like a giant woman child.
Or maybe that's just how she is. Maybe her character just overreacts with disproportionate retribution because it's in her character to do so.
So, she's the MLP equivalent of Dan?
Based on what we've seen so far, would you really put it past her? Tell me it wouldn't be hilarious to have that kind of character on the show, especially after Dan Versus was cancelled. Which was awful.
Don't remind me. That was a good show. So, somehow, Twilight finds the exact right words to stop Starlight from breaking the spell. They go, back to the future! Yeah. Where all of Twilight's friends are waiting for her.
What's she doing here?
Awkward.
I mean, I knew my rainboom was awesome, but I never thought all of Equestria depended on it.
And people wonder why she's so fucking arrogant. Then we come to the end of the episode where we... nope. So that was the Cutie remark. Compared to the other season finales and openers, I felt this one was really weak. Like, guys, just hear me out. This season finale feels like the season 1 finale, in that it gave us nothing to get excited about and tied us over to the next season. Season 2, all is not politically well in the land of Equestria, and there are other alicorns. Ooh, I can't wait for season 3 to talk about this. Season 3, Twilight advances her studies and becomes an alicorn princess. Ooh, I can't wait for season 4 to talk about this. Season 4, Twilight gets a castle and a council of friendship. Ooh, I can't wait for season 5 to talk about this. Season 5. Starlight becomes good? Okay, unless season 6 has some repercussions from messing with time, that's pretty weak.
But you have to admit, the implications behind each universe are very interesting. It's really fun to think about how these worlds came into being. In terms of building up the richness of Equestria, I don't think any other episode gives us so much to chew on. And Starlight, while her redemption is poorly handled, I think that what they're trying to do is make Starlight Glimmer out to be some sort of 7th Ranger.
Well, the problem with that is Sunset Shimmer fits the role much better. Gripes aside, this episode was just kind of eh. It was noticeably dialogue heavy, which could turn some people off, but the part that gets me the most is that characters held the idiot ball far more than previous episodes, at least for me. It's not a bad finale, but compared to previous ones, I kind of felt a little underwhelmed. I'm the Fiery Joker.
And I'm Ink Rose.
And it's hard to believe that this is actually our first collab, considering, you know, all the fan art. No. No. No, what have I done? Ah!
Cut!